Hoyt Farm is such a unique, special place. It's situated in the middle of suburbia, but when you show up here, there's such a great connection to nature and wildlife. I think it makes everyone feel a little bit childlike. I don't know anyone that doesn't enjoy being outdoors, taking a breath of fresh air, seeing a beautiful deer run by, taking a walk to the pond and hearing birds chirping. It really brings us back to history and nature and where we all started. I think everyone can appreciate that, and I think everyone that takes the time to step foot at Hoyt Farm kind of gets that bit of peace that is often lacking in our daily life.
A good reason why anybody should come visit Hoyt Farm is to always go home with a good memory. That's what we thrive for here, is for people to have good memories and enjoy the wildlife, enjoy the conservation, to really appreciate what you have.
You just get to be a part of something that's bigger than you. It's nature, it's breathing in the air, it's smelling the smells, hearing the sounds. You don't realize you're tucked in a little residential neighborhood. You think you're on a farm somewhere or in the woods taking a walk, and I think that's special.
The Hoyt family left a really incredible legacy when they passed the torch on to the town of Smithtown in the 1960s. Their dream was to preserve natural areas, promote wildlife conservation, and really focus on education so that future generations would appreciate this property the way they did and the way we are fortunate enough to do now.
The property here was not originally the Hoyt property. It was the Wicks property. The early American settlers that lived here in the 1600s traded off a lot of their property to the local settlers and farmers. In 1740, it's on record that the Wicks family owned this property. 1770 is when they built their house and started a small apple and peach orchard, maybe 100 apple trees, 150 peach trees. In 1910, the Hoyt family came and they purchased the house. The middle of the house is the original part of the house. That was the Wicks house. When the Hoyts came and purchased the house from the Wicks, they added on to the house. You have the east wing, the west wing, and the upper dormer. Now, the middle of the house is considered our museum. During the summer, the museum is open to the public in between 1 and 4, in between Memorial Day and Labor Day. A lot of what's inside that house are things that the Hoyt family left for us to display that was in the house.
Barbara Hoyt has had a huge influence on me. She's one of the Hoyt children. She was the daughter of Maria and Edwin. Her dream was of preserving these woods and educating future generations. She grew up here, and I think these woods formed the person that she became, a conservationist. And I've worked here for 22 years, and I think that it has done the same for me. It's really astonishing that the Hoyt family had the foresight in the 1960s to see how these green areas were going to be disappearing and how they could help preserve them by creating this space that we cannot build on. We still are in close touch with the Hoyt family. If we want to make any big changes, they stay involved. And we love that. They are a family of conservationists, and in turn, this park will always remain a beautiful, unique green space.
My role here at the farm is I am the animal preserve caretaker. So that entails keeping up with the day-to-day of all 63 of our rescued residents, is what I like to call them here. Over the last 20 years, my job here has evolved. I have to do everything from administer meds, daily feedings, daily cleanings. Everyone here at the farm has individualized care. They're not treated as a group. They are 63 individuals, so it's a lot of food. I have to chart regularly, keep in touch with our veterinarian, ordering supplies, feed, anything down to Cheryl helps me with hooves. Dominic helps me build structures, fences if I need repairs. It's a bit of a team project when it comes to the animals. Charlie is our 8-year-old Ashire steer. He's a fan favorite. Everyone knows him on the farm here. The public loves him. He's our gentle giant. He's about 2,100 pounds of love, and we rescued him from a dairy farm when he was a few weeks old, so he came to us as a calf. Charlie is special to all of us here and to all of the residents who visit him. It shows you so much love, and people don't realize how much animals can love. Education at the farm is huge. I like to educate the public on the animals, where they've come from, why we have them, and their stories and their personalities. Educating the public on just general things. The kids get so much out of it. Everything that we teach them, they retain, and then they share it with someone else. It's like full circle.
Being the educator here at Hoyt Farm really provides an opportunity for me to not only teach what I know, but to get the students out into nature. Just go back to the basics, get them away from technology, no cell phones, no TV. Even though we're surrounded by residential areas, Northern State Parkway, when you step back into those woods, you don't hear or see any of that. And then, of course, coming into the Nature Center is a big part of every program that we do.
So I'm going to put you where you're going to sit. When I give you a little tap on the head, you're going to sit straight down, okay? This one. No, every year you have to get bigger clothes because you get bigger. Well, he does about the same thing.
I really try to incorporate a nature walk into all of our programs. We have so many special things to see, different topographical areas on the farm. One of the biggest things that we pass on our walk is our main pond. Our main pond is a water source and a food source for all of our native species that live here on Hoyt Farms property. It also provides a really important water source for migratory birds. It's a home to countless fish, turtles, frogs, ducks. We get great blue herons. We get birds of prey. Of course, we have mammals, raccoons, opossum. We have tons of deer. So it's a really special spot that we like to pass by with the kids, and there's always something going on at the main pond. In addition to our main pond, we always pass by our vernal pond, which is a really unique pond here at Hoyt Farm. It only has water in the springtime, which makes it a great spot for our native spotted salamanders to lay their eggs because there's no fish, which means no predators. So those eggs can grow up to be spotted salamanders, and that population is thriving here. We added pollinator gardens to Hoyt Farm about 6 years ago, and they are always transforming, just like everything else here. They started off pretty small, where we were buying local native plants to support our native pollinators, bees and butterflies, birds, even bats. They've kind of gotten bigger and bigger through the years, these pollinator gardens. We include them in our educational programs and our walks. And it's a really important part of conservation here for us because our native pollinators are in trouble, and we want to let the public and our students know how they can help, what they can plant, and how to really focus on things that are native to just our area here.
Excellent. And who are they fighting?
So not only is Hoyt Farm a really unique place for the wildlife and the nature, but it brings together a really unique group of people that have their own skills, their own passions, and we work really well together. And one of the people who's been an asset is Dominic Gaudio. If ever I need anything, if I need a fence built, if I need seesaws built for the Halloween festival, Dominic is on it. He's an incredible carpenter, he's a welder, he's a jack of all trades, and he will make whatever we ask and do it very well. No one else here can do what Dom does. Another asset to the park has been Kelly Wareheim. She's filled in the gaps here that we didn't even realize we had. She's taken on landscaping as her own personal project, as well as helping us with so many other projects, including building bird boxes, helping us at the barn, feeding animals, animal care, and really anything else that the park needs. She has been an incredible help. The Nature Center is a huge part of our educational programs. It was actually the original bathhouse for the Hoyt family, and then it was transformed into an educational center. It has come so far through the years, from our old, antiquated, big displays in the 1970s to a much more streamlined, a much more hands-on, friendly nature center. Jeff Guman and Dominic Gaudio have been a huge part of making those changes.
With the help of Cheryl's creativity, Dominic's know-how to build, construct, redo a lot of these displays that we have here, it's come a long way. We have a beautiful Long Island marine fish display now. We have taxidermy that was redone. We still have our reptiles and amphibians in the back, but all those tanks have been redone, compliments of Kate Murphy. She does a great job with those tanks. We've come a long way, and I'm very proud to say that my staff had a lot to do with it. The front of Hoyt Farm, 18 acres of it, is more devoted towards the general public. We have our pavilion that holds over 600 people. We have our water park. We have a brand new playground area. We have our showmobile where we have a lot of concerts that draw a lot of people. Thousands of people a summer come and enjoy our pavilion. So we have 2 brand new beautiful pavilions. We also have 4 bocce courts all lit up. That pavilion has come a long way.
Let's count together. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful.
The pavilion was just reconstructed after so many years of needing it.
The pavilions were built over 30 years ago and they were old and rusty. We came up with a new design and we made the buildings bigger. As Hoyt Farm grows and the town grows, more and more people come here every season for picnics. Those buildings were antiquated and we came up with a redesign that will last for many years. We also redid the playground area. The playground needed to be redone. We redid the surface, the whole playground area. The facility needed to be brought up to date.
I was the former director of Park Buildings and Grounds. So for me to come here as the town supervisor and see the advances that have been made and how this facility is kept up is extremely heartening to me. And when I see the residents here en masse with their children enjoying themselves, that's what makes it important to me, and that's why I enjoy seeing this facility. This is our flagship park. You have everything a resident would want on this site. There is so much for residents to enjoy across the board, anything that they wanted to do to recreate. When we are here playing bocce, we encounter many, many residents because the playgrounds are full. As a matter of fact, I might have more conversations on a Thursday night at bocce than I do in my office during the week. So you will get a feel for how they feel about everything. They're very engaging. They'll tell you how they feel, good or bad. And it's great feedback for me when I come here so I can bring it back to the office.
This is a great place to come and visit. Don't miss out on it. It's right in your backyard. You will enjoy it. You will love it. And you will see things that you never realized were here before and say, wow, I can't believe this is in our town.
During the summer, we do check for residency. You have to be a Smithtown resident to enter our park and park in our parking lot. If you're not a Smithtown resident, the only time you're allowed to come in is if you're with an event. If you're with a picnic, you let us know at the front booth what picnic you're with. You'll pay a $12 parking fee and you'll be able to park for the rest of the day.
The town of Smithtown funds Hoyt Farm, but it's much more than that. They really support what we do. They support the Hoyt Farm legacy, our desire to rescue farm animals, to promote education. They are always on board for the improvements that we make. We're very fortunate to have the people in charge that are in charge to help keep this place going and functioning so efficiently.
We couldn't do anything that we do here without the help and the support of the town of Smithtown. They've been extremely helpful in my role at the farm when it comes to rescuing the farm animals and caring for the farm animals. They never tell me no.
The Halloween Festival has taken on a life of its own. We started it about 18 years ago because we love Halloween here. That was how it started. We wanted to give back to the community, so it's a very affordable event. Through the years, it has gathered momentum. Our props have gotten better. It has gotten bigger.
It just evolved into a monster. It turns out that it's probably one of the biggest events here in the town of Smithtown every year. I mean, we sell out every year.
Our setup is very elaborate. It takes us, I would say, about 2 months to set up from start to finish. We start in August prepping some of our props, and then about 2 to 3 weeks before is when we start actually putting things out. It takes us that entire time until the festival to get everything out. It feels like you step back in time. All of the props are homemade. We make and paint everything ourselves, with the exception of a few 12-foot skeletons that we don't have the ability to make. It feels old school. It's kids throwing softballs into baskets, hay rides and pumpkin picking. There's giveaways for the scavenger hunt. All the kids get a pumpkin. There's pumpkin decorating kits. There's face painters that we pay. The kids love it. It's such an exciting day. There's a lot to do. It's one of our favorite days of the year.
The haunted house is Jeff's baby. He has put his heart and soul into that haunted house.
It's come a long way. We put hours and hours of work into it. A lot of creativity, a lot of ideas. We took a lot of pride in that. Disney's got nothing on us.
We love Halloween here, love it. We eat, breathe, sleep Halloween. We start talking about the next festival the day after the festival. We enjoy it because we get to dress up, but the kids look forward to it every year, and that's really why we do it. We love to do it for the kids.
I know, watching these kids dressed up for Halloween, I just know that they're having a good time. And the parents, to experience that with the kids is everything to us. People can enjoy themselves for those few hours a day and hopefully get that one memory in there. Yeah, I think we've done our job. The water tower used to be the main water source for the Hoyt family. The only use for it now is aesthetic reasons. People love to see an old water tower. It's a focal point of Hoyt Farm. Our water tower was in need of reconstruction, and fortunately the Constantino family helped us out with just that. They donated their time and material to redo our water tower. They also did me a favor by putting a small window in the side of that water tower in hopes that someday barn owls are going to get back into that and start producing again. People come in, they see that water tower. We got so many compliments, and people are so grateful that we had that put back together. And that water tower is going to be there for another 100 years plus. They did a great job. Here at Hoyt Farm, we do have a very unique nature trail. It is marked off by different markers that'll explain different parts of the nature trail. We do have a nature trail guide that does have markers that do correspond to our nature trails. It'll explain different trees, different foliage, different flowers. It even will point out a few areas where we have bat boxes, owl boxes, things of that nature. It also will mark out our main pond and our vernal pond. We do have two ponds here. As you go on throughout the park, you will also see that we have an apple orchard. The apple orchard pretty much symbolizes what Hoyt Farm used to be. It used to be an apple and peach orchard. When you pass our apple orchard, you'll get to our main house, which will be the end of our nature trail. So when you do come to Hoyt Farm, I do strongly suggest to go to our nature center, where we do have our nature trail guide, so go out and explore.
The maple sugaring program is one of our most popular programs. Not only is it really fascinating to a lot of people that we actually do maple sugaring on Long Island, but the time of year is perfect to get people out of the house, get people away from sitting in front of the TV in late February, early March. We do have some beautiful days. Sometimes it's a little chilly, sometimes it's warmer, but the families are outside, they're breathing in the fresh air, and they're learning about some incredible native history that happens here. The maple sugaring program has been going on here since the 70s. Through the years, we've gotten much more elaborate with our demonstrations and our displays, but it still speaks to the very traditional history that is here.
Come up with the name tapping a tree. That's what we do, we tap trees. So you tap that into the tree.
Since Cheryl has been here and Kate, there's been large improvements with that maple sugaring program. Cheryl does a great job in explaining as to where maple sugaring, how it started, how it's done now. And Kate is terrific at what she does at the end, explaining the anatomy of the tree and why it runs.
We make maple syrup, and our specialty is walnut syrup. So a lot of people don't even know walnut syrup exists. It's kind of difficult to come by on the market. But a part of the program is watching us make syrup from start to finish, but also to get to taste maple and walnut syrup, all that we made right here from trees on our property. The program is excellent, really popular. We get hundreds of people that come to the program, and we even get families that afterwards try maple sugaring in their own backyard. So if you want to get outside, learn something new, you should definitely come to our maple sugaring event.
Here at the farm, it's untouched. The woods are untouched. The paths are untouched. We have deer, and we have fox dens, and we have hawks and birds of prey and things that you're not going to see in your backyard, because here they're safe and they have their own ecosystem here. And it's special.
It's given us a chance to do what we need to do to not only preserve wildlife, but to get people out to enjoy wildlife. And it's not just the wildlife here, it's the livestock that we have here. It's to get people up close and appreciate animals and wildlife. For us to be involved to protect this unique jewel we have here in the middle of Smithtown is, it's the best.
Hoyt Farm offers so much. It's not just the playground, the sprinkler park, the concerts. There are a lot of people that are attracted to Hoyt Farm for those purposes, but a lot of times they get pulled into a nature walk because the hiking trails come right off of those areas. They might take a walk up to the barn where our rescued farm animals are. That might entice them to go into the nature center or take a nice hike around the woods, stop by the pond or the pollinator gardens. It's such a special place that has something to offer for everyone.
This is one of the last vestiges of open space that is left in this area. It will never be developed. It will always be preserved as 133 acres of open space right here in Comac. So it is our flagship park, and it's very, very important for us, the town, to support this facility to keep it right here in Comac.